Welcome back. The Office of the Media Ombudsman has initiated a comprehensive media monitoring project to oversee the coverage of the 2024 presidential and National Assembly elections in Namibia. This project, which began on July 1st, 2024, will run until December 31st, 2024, and it aims to monitor and analyze media reportage during the pre-election, election day, and post-election phases. A key component of this project is the release of monthly reports summarizing election-related data, with the first report for July 2024 scheduled to be presented today. These reports are designed to foster informed public debate and ensure transparency in election coverage. Media Ombudsman John Nakuta now joins us for this conversation. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you for being here. Talk to us about the objectives. Of course, I've explained them, but in your own words, of the media monitoring project for the 2024 elections, and of course how it aims to contribute to the democratic process.
Yeah. If I can paraphrase it, and of course this is to give a brief overview. What is the name of the program again? A daily roundup. So I'm not going to go into the most detailed things, but basically, to paraphrase, the objectives is really to get the media to self-reflect. It's like what has been reported on, how it has been reported on, who has been reported on, who is not being reported on, who's been left out. And so with that self-reflection, it is also meant then to self-correct. So that is what the objective is. And ultimately, because the Media Ombudsman is enforcing the media ethic, the code of ethics and conduct for the media, Namibian media, for both print, broadcast, and online, wherever a media house is having an online presence. We've got a very specific provision in the code. Clause 6.2 is making a call and directing media houses to report accurately, objectively, and neutrally during any election period or referendum. So it is really, as a part of the objective, is to proactively hold media houses to those high standards. Yeah.
How's the data for the monthly reports being collected, Mr. Nakuta, and what methodologies are being employed to ensure accuracy and reliability of information?
Right. In terms of the how question, we have employed a private media company in the name of Namibia. I think it is owned by a certain Miss Natasha Bielefeld. Natasha has been commissioned to work together with our lead consultant, Christy Kielde. Natasha's company primarily collect the data, the raw data in terms of what has been reported on, election related, during the period. And what Natasha did, even though her contract runs from the 1st of July, but she already collected data for us from the 20th of June. And so in monthly cycles, basically, Natasha is providing us that. And then what do we do then with this in terms of methodology? Through observations, through monitoring, and of course through analysis. This data that has been collected is then, of course, analyzed by academics. We've brought for this project 3 academics and 1 former journalist in the name of Natasha Tibinyani. The other academics are at UNAM and at NAST. And so they are then helping alongside Christy Kielde to analyze this data after it has been coded and stuff. So I don't want to go into too much into the detail of the methodology because it's quite technical. But yeah, we want to make sure that the data that has been collected and analyzed is obviously accurate and reflective of the actual situation. Yeah.
What have the key findings been from this first monthly report for July 2024? Any trends that you've seen?
Yes, certainly. The report it's very rich in content. One thing, it almost goes without saying that the ruling party is enjoying what we call in political speak, and I'm not a politician or a political analyst, but I'm aware of the term incumbency, advantage of incumbency, the advantage of incumbency. The fact that a party is the ruling party, it goes without saying that you will get certain advantages. And what the data tells us is, in the case of Namibia, is exactly the case. SWAPO, the ruling party SWAPO, is getting the lion's share of the reporting. And very interestingly, it also tells us who is reporting on SWAPO and who is not reporting on SWAPO. And the NBC, both radio and television, is predominantly reporting on SWAPO. And together with the NBC is the new era. So what the data tells us, state-owned entities like yourselves and new era is predominantly focusing on SWAPO, and very interestingly, the private media houses, even though they also report on the ruling party SWAPO, but not to the large extent that that institutions like yours is happening. And what we also found is that the opposition parties are mainly reported on by the private media. Very interestingly, what we found is that it doesn't matter how many seats you have in the National Assembly. If you're not the ruling party, it is not automatic that you would be reported on.
Right.
You would be reported on if there's some kind of a controversy in your party, or there's some kind of a crisis in your party. And that's why the second highest political party reported on in our findings happens to be the NEF. Is it NEFF? Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters.
Yeah.
And we all know it is because of them being deregistered and all the other things happening there. So we are basically saying it is probably because of that, because we've seen the same trend that the LPM is also the third highest reported party. And again, we are saying it's probably because of one of their key members that left the party and joined the N party. So what we are saying, therefore, is it's not so much how many seats you are having. The official opposition party, the PDM, for example, is like very bottom in terms of being reported on. AR, very interestingly, have received much more favorable ratings, for example, than SWANO. And we all know that AR is not in the National Assembly.
Right.
And so forth. So it is very interesting data that we've came across. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing what the reports leading up to the elections will reveal in terms of these trends. But that's all the time we have this evening. We thank you so much for joining us, Mr.
You're welcome. Thank you very
much.
Thank you very much.
That was the Media Ombudsman speaking to us. Moving on the program this evening. Earlier, one of our NBC producers and presenter, Ndapewa Mbambi, spoke to two finalists of the Miss Ongwediva Annual Trade Fair 2024 about their experience, their future plans, and also about how they've been preparing for the show. Let's take a look.
Good day, team. Thank you so much for having us. We're still coming to you live from the Ongwediva